One other thing I forgot to mention about the transcendence of the succubus is her looks. I mean, how can one forget the looks of the succubus? You know? Now, we have all these talks about beauty and the way beauty has changed and evolved over the years. Now, you go back in older times, and it doesn't matter what culture it is around the world, beauty was usually set forth by the men, the masculine principles. You know, these young girls had to look a certain way to attract a mate, to have children, to be fertile. You know what I'm saying? Now, as time goes on and you see certain cultures switch from patriarchal to matriarchal, the whole perspective of beauty changes. Yes, it changes. Of course, fast forward, you got females that aren't being real women, but they want to be flamboyant like a male peacock. Keep that in mind. I'll jump back to that a little bit later on here. But just want to say, this overall has been the mindset of a female that's possessed with the succubus spirit. She adjusts to the times. She doesn't adjust to the requirements that man has for her, no matter what culture she comes from. Now, you know, you talk about what goes on in the Middle East and how the men abuse their women in regards to what they wear and things like that. Now, the transcending thing about women of those cultures is, you know, depending on where she was born at in certain parts of the Middle East, she found the way out of whatever situation that she was in, you know, with her life. You know, she really escaped with her life. Maybe she did some act of infidelity and avoided being stoned to death. So you may see some Muslim cultures get stricter with their women as far as what they need to dress, given maybe the fact that previous women were being too lewd. They were too promiscuous. Now, I'm not saying this is the entire truth here, so hear me out here. A lot of times, it's just like when a father has a daughter and he sees that she may be walking out the door and she's wearing something a little bit too loud, he's going to get her to quiet down and go back in that room and find something else to wear that's going to be more modest looking on her, not be so sexually seductive. Now, this is where I'm going at with this, with the succubus. The succubus has adjusted to these times in order to appear more sexually seductive. It's not based on what men require of her in order for her to be a wife. It's more or less what she is setting forth for herself in order to be sexually seductive towards men, based on her terms, whether she accepts these men in her life or not. And if she accepts these men in her life, it's for her gains and her reasons. You know what I'm saying? But either way, it's still based on this manipulation. And that's what you see. This is how transcending the succubus is. A lot of times with the trendsetters amongst fashion, especially amongst women, it usually is based on certain females that have been the most provocative. You know, they know how to show it off, while yet still having a sense of independence about themselves. Yeah, you can look, but you better not touch me, boy. I know I'm hot, I know I'm fire, I know I'm sexy, but you can't touch this. The sense of letting a man beg and quiver before you is this sense of power that the succubus knows that she has over the average man. The more than average man sees through all the BS like it's nothing. And of course, the succubus responds to that in two ways. I'll find a way to subdue him. Or, he's a little bit too much for me. No, I'm just going to, okay. I see where this is going. This is not going to work. And she'll bail on you. So that's two ways that the succubus reacts in those situations. But yes, transcending the succubus is just showing off a lot of her cleavage. And I thought I wasn't going to bring this up. But, you know, the thing about a lot of these females wearing tights out here in the public. A real woman doesn't wear tights. She's not trying to reveal her curves like that. She's not trying to reveal her cleavage like that. But these are things that have been set forth that go far back as far as Lilith herself. She was very scantily clad and revealing, but yet she felt like she was above Adam. She was equal to Adam. Now, you know, when you have a chick that's out here thinking that she could be just as sexy as a man and she do her, you gonna do you, baby, I'm gonna do me. You know what I'm saying? She start talking like that. That's the spirit of the succubus right there. You know what I'm saying? Because she's basically using her beauty to validate herself. Now, beauty and beautiful are two different things, but she's using her beauty at the time to validate herself instead of a man making her more beautiful, right? Because, see, you know, the true femininity of a woman is in her modesty about her beauty. And when she gets the right man in her life, he's going to make her beautiful. Now, see, the transcending part of the succubus is that she feels that she's beautiful without a man. So she's going to show it all off, all of her body and everything, without a man present, without keeping it behind closed door for that man that she's supposed to be preparing herself for, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the mindset of the average female possessed by the succubus spirit these days. Not these days. No. She's transcending in her looks too. She knows how to keep up with the latest styles, the latest fashions, the latest looks. But it's not to cater to a man. It's to tempt them, it's to manipulate them, and it's to have her way with them as she pleases. Even if that means depriving men that may see her having some type of value, him not knowing her true nature. Him not knowing her true nature, obviously. Signing out.